Tens of thousands of Russian troops are believed to be massed near Ukraine's borders. A large part of the recent Russian military buildup is in Crimea, which Russia annexed from Ukraine in 2014. Ukrainian officials have said Moscow could be planning a military offensive at the end of July. Here's Associated Press reporter Robert Burns with more.
So President Putin has been responding to the Western complaints about Russian troop movements near Ukraine. Putin has then been saying, well, what I want some guarantees, some kind of legal assurances that NATO and its member countries like the United States are not going to continue to move eastward toward Russian borders and put their troops in Ukraine or elsewhere along the Russian periphery. This is not a new complaint by Putin or by Russia. They've been complaining for really since the end of the Cold War that NATO is not to be trusted and that NATO should not be moving eastward toward Russian borders by bringing in new members or by deploying its troops in places like Ukraine. It's a little hard to imagine that there would be an explicit agreement of any kind, actually. Certainly, I don't think Biden is in position to agree to forego the possibility in the future of Ukraine becoming a member of NATO, which Putin says is a red line. On the other hand, there could be either some agreements on other issues, or there could be simply a commitment to continue discussing the issue. I suppose President Putin thinks there's some room for at least opening the door to a broader discussion with the United States and NATO about what he considers to be really unacceptable relations between Russia and Europe. He feels on multiple fronts that that NATO is being provocative, in part with just exercises in that region and other things that I think he wants to make a point about that.
Now we have Arise US Correspondent Rotimi KADE joining us now for more on this video call between the two leaders. Hi, Rotimi. Let's talk about Joe Biden. What is he hoping to get out of this call?
Well, a very good question. I think Joe Biden obviously will want to pursue a diplomatic solution between Ukraine and Russia. But of greater concern is the territorial integrity of Russia, Ukraine, I should say, as Russia continues to pursue military aggression within the borders of Ukraine. And these are the issues. Russia actually, very, very uncomfortable with the fact that Ukraine is forming a closer ties with NATO, which means that they want to join, they want to be part of the NATO alliance, which has been, on pause for some certain reasons, but nonetheless, NATO has continued to exercise some sort of, closer ties with Ukraine to push away the Russian aggression by supplying them with arms and, of course, military drills. And Russia feels that that's a red line, and they would not accept that. They also feel that the 2015 agreement after the invasion of Crimea should also be abided by, which is that the rebels within the Crimea region, which was supported by the Russian troops at the time, should be granted amnesty, and of course should not be invaded by Ukraine as Ukraine continues to increase its capabilities militarily. So, but today, according to some observers, those demands is a non-starter for President Biden. President Biden believes that what happened in 2014's invasion of Ukraine, which annexed Crimea, would not happen this time as Russia continues to build up its military around the borders of Ukraine.
All right, Rotimi. And would a Russia invasion lead to U.S. troops on the ground in Ukraine?
Well, most likely not. U.S. Under the Democratic presidents and even under President Trump in the last 4 years, have not considered a military, U.S. military boots on the ground in Ukraine or anywhere. And I think that's why it was easier for Russia in 2014 to invade Ukraine and, of course, annex Crimea out of the country. But I think there will be some sort of proxy wars that will be happening. We understand that the U.S. also, some observers said that the U.S. is, innately supplying, weapons and, and of course having some sort of military exercises with the Ukrainian military. So Ukrainians will definitely fight their own wars rather than U.S. boots on the ground. But U.S. also is warning Russia that even though we can have our boots on the ground, but we will definitely do something that will impact your economy and drastically. Don't forget that Russia is already having some sort of, had some sort of contracts with Europe. That's the gas pipeline contract, which was billions of dollars. That could be pulled out as a result of this. We understand that President Biden also spoke with leaders of Germany, France, Britain, and Italy yesterday, and to carve out a sort of position on how to address the economic sanctions that is imminent against Russia.
All right, Rotimi, thank you so much for helping us understand exactly what is going on there, and we will have you back to discuss some other things on another day. Thank you so much.